Okay, so now we're going to talk about actually creating our own formulas in Excel. We learned in the last lesson, this sort of operations here and how that works. And now we're actually going to create our own formula, not just by putting in numbers, but by referencing cells, which is really the next step in the process. That way, we can put whatever numbers we want in these cells, and our formulas are going to update automatically. If we just put hard numbers in there, basically, like we did in the last lesson, where in the formula I'm saying, 1 plus 1. No matter what I do, this is basically just in there. It's not going to change. There's no reference, as opposed to, if I do this cell plus this cell, and really all that's saying is it's going to take whatever's in this cell and add it to whatever's in cell D3. And that's a lot more useful because our worksheets are going to be changing. We're going to be updating information, and we want, say we had a total of our fixed expenses or something. We want that to update as we change. All of the fixed expenses that we have, we want the total just to update. We don't want to have to create a whole new formula every single time we do it. So you saw I already kind of did it there. Whenever we're making a formula in Excel, we choose whatever cell we want it to show up in, and we hit the equal sign. On your keyboard, it should be, to the left of your backspace. It might be somewhere else. Just search for an equal sign and type it in. But every formula that we're going to use in Excel starts with an equal sign. No matter what it is, that's just telling Excel. It's kind of counterintuitive to have it at the beginning of your formula. Because usually in math we're used to having it at the end. But Excel needs to know. Okay, you've put an equal sign. This is saying I'm starting a formula, and I can do one of two things. I can just click on the cells that I want to include in this formula, like so. If I want C2 in there, I just left click on it, and it's going to automatically update and say, okay, C2. The other option I have is just to simply type in the letter C and then 2, and that's going to automatically reference this cell. And then, I'm just going to add these two together. Let's do an addition sign, and then I'm going to select C3, and then our formula is done if that's all we want to do. And when it's done, I just hit enter, and now that formula is calculating these cells here. So I look in here, here's my formula, C2 plus C3, and the neat thing about it, let's just, for a point, change this to 100. It automatically updates. Now that wouldn't happen if I just had numbers in there instead of cell references like this. So again, we can get more complicated than this. If I wanted to do, say, C2 multiplied by C4 plus C5, and then I wanted to divide that by C6, and then I hit enter, I'm going to get 140. And again, just the awesome thing about it, I can change this to whatever I want, and it's going to automatically, I guess I shouldn't have done decimal there, let's do that. It's going to automatically adjust my formula to do it. And that's pretty much it. We can make any type of formula we want, and we can go, we can make this as long as we desire. There's really no limit to how much we can do in there. We just got to be sure that we're, again, following the order of operations, going parentheses, exponents, then division, multiplication, and then addition and subtraction. And Excel is going to calculate it correctly for us every single time. Now the other thing, you see kind of these highlighted boxes that go around this cell, and this is just so when I look at my formula, you notice C2 is in blue, and then this box is also in blue. It's just a quick reference so you can tell, okay, what cells are exactly, in this formula. So if I had, I'm going to go ahead and make another formula, just add these two together. If I click on this formula and click in this box here, you can see, hey, this is only using these two cells. And if I do this one, you can tell it's using a lot more cells. So just a quick reference. So, it's color coded, so you know exactly what cell goes where in the formula. Just, because sometimes your cells can be all over the place. They're not always in a nice row here. I could have some over on this part, or, an entirely different worksheet, or not worksheet, but a, different sheet within your well, yes, sorry, I meant workbook there, but it can be on different sheets, different parts of your sheet, wherever it is. A formula can get basically any cell that you have access to in your entire workbook, you can include in that formula and add it, which is just a really neat thing. Now, again, that being said, we can create these formulas, but Excel has some functions that are already in there, so we can save lots of time by just using the preset formulas that they have in there, and we're going to learn that in the next video.